Everyone, this is Maureen and welcome to My Crochet Story. Today is Monday, January the 15th, and we are here to look at another floral stitch. I will be using the Super Saver Ombre. This color is called Spearmint. But before I get into how we're going to do that stitch, let me say welcome in to all of you that are here. I truly appreciate your time. I do hope that you will enjoy this second stitch in our series of the floret stitches, or that's what I'm calling them. Last week we looked at the primrose. This week we're looking at the tulip. If you're new to my channel, welcome in. I hope you are here to learn a new stitch right along with the rest of us. If you are, please stay till the end of the video and then go take a look at all the other content that I have, and consider hitting the subscribe button and then looking for the bell that has those little hugs on the side, because it'll let you know every time I upload some content. Alrighty, the tulip stitch. Now, if you can chain, single crochet, and double crochet, then you're going to have no problems with this stitch, because it's a combination of those stitches that allow us to make the tulip stitch. So Red Heart Super Saver Ombre is a 4-weight Aran or acrylic yarn. This particular skein is a 10 ounce or 283 gram ball. It has 482 yards or 440 meters. Now obviously, since we're just doing a swatch, we're not going to need this whole skein. Now last week I showed you what the primrose looked like in a couple of different colorways. Well, in my opinion, all right, now take it for what it's worth, but in my opinion, the tulip stitch looks best with either a solid color, and I would also recommend something a little on the lighter side. I wouldn't use a black or a navy blue. Try to keep it light and pretty. But the ombres, whether it's Super Savers or Mandala has some very pretty ombres. So long as they stay in a lighter color palette, I believe you'll find that it shows up very, very nicely. So I'm going to be using a eye hook or a 5.5 millimeter hook, and I've already pulled off quite a bit of yarn here in which to get started. So let me go ahead and pull that back up here on the desk with me, and then I'll probably take just a second or two to readjust my camera so that you can get a better look at the stitches that we're going to, or the stitch that we're going to look at today. Now this stitch is made in a multiple of 4 plus 1, and I know that many of you should understand by now that multiples just mean that that's how many stitches it takes to make that particular stitch. So let me see which one I have here. That's my H. I think this one's my I. There we go. I'll be using a Furls Rosewood hook. I really do love these hooks. Number one, they're made out of wood. They're much lighter, I think, than any other hook that Furls carries, although I am very passionate about my metal hooks. But anyway, I will be using this rosewood. I was talking to you about the multiple count. Now that just means that it's going to take 4 stitches for us to, or 4 chains, 4 spaces in which to make the stitch. Now I'm going to start out today by making 20 chains and then add 1 so that I can turn. And before I actually do the tulip stitch, I'm going to set it up with a foundation row of single crochets. Now, in order to, get your hook on, the yarn onto your hook, just use any slip stitch method that you like. I'm going to go ahead and chain my 20. Now, I have also encouraged you in the past to not try to be so speedy when doing your chains, because your chains, folks, in that very first row is what sets up not only the tension of your stitches, but it also sets up the very foundation of what your garment or piece is going to look like. Now I know there's a lot of folks out there that are posting videos about how to teach you to crochet faster, and if that's your thing, then fine. but I find that faster is not always better, especially in a handmade object. So I've lost my count. 2, 4, 6. I did it again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and I just need that one, so I'm going to remove these 2 stitches here. Do that again just to be sure. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 1. You know what? I'm going to take that out to 25. 2, well, come on, 3, 4, and then there's my 1. I just wanted to give us plenty of chain here to work with. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Remember, the loop on your hook does not count as a chain. I'm going to work in this back bump of the chain. Now, if you prefer working into that top chain, the top loop there of the chain, that's fine. I just want to have a nice clean edge here to my swatch. So I'm skipping the first chain, going into the second chain, and I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to work a simple single crochet. Going to go into the next chain and crochet a single crochet, and we're going to do that all the way down. Now again, I encourage you, especially if you are working up a garment using this stitch and you're going to use it right off the bat, take your time. I am a big proponent of doing it right the first time, not worrying about being a speed demon. Although, you know, really, I am not knocking anyone who likes to crochet fast. I mean, I'm really not. I just know that for myself, my OCD kicks in, and when I get to crocheting fast, especially if I feel like I'm in a time crunch or I just want to hurry it up to get finished with it, to be finished with it, I find that for me, that's when I start making mistakes, or that's when I start, I'm a tight crocheter, so when I try to crochet fast, I find that I get a lot tighter with my tension, which creates more frustration, and I see a hair right there. Let me see if I can get that. Don't want that in my stitch. Oh, it's still there. There we go. Almost had it. There it is. Okay. Now it's gone. Alright, we're coming here to the end. And yes, working in this back bump can be a little trying, but I'll show you here in a minute, as I have before. I just think it gives a really pretty edge, and that's the reason why I like to do it. Now, I didn't learn this trick until years after I had been crocheting for a while. I was sitting with some ladies in a crochet knitting group, and I saw her start out like this, and I said, "What stitch are you working on?" And she says, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, you're not working in the top loop of the chain." And she said, "No, let me show you." And after that, folks, I was hooked. And I'll show you why here in just, oh, I didn't get all that. That little loop there is trying to hide, because I was not conscientious to make sure that that chain was the same size as everybody else. Alright. Now sometimes in this starting chain, you just can't find that loop. Alright, now let me show you why I love working in this back loop of the chain. So see, this is the stitch we just made. And by working in that back loop, look at that. See that pretty edge that it gives? They're both the same. And you know that whenever we start at the bottom of a piece and we end up at the top, it has this pretty nice chain stitch look to it. Well, by working in that third loop of your chain, it gives you that nice stitch look at the bottom. Okay, now we are ready to start working on the tulip stitch. So what we're going to do here is in this very next row, we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Now to begin the tulip stitch on this row, we're going to go right back into this very first stitch here. We're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to do 3 excuse me, double crochets. And that starts our little tiny tulip stitch here. Now it doesn't look like much, but as we get going across and come back again from the other direction and keep going back and forth, you'll see where the tulip stitch really starts blossoming. But that is essentially what your little tulip stitch is going to look like. Alright, so after making those 3 double crochets, we're going to skip 3 stitches. And in the next stitch, we are going to single crochet, chain 3, and do 3 double crochets. Alright, skip 3 stitches, and in the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, and do 3 double crochets. And that is our repeat pattern all the way down the rest of the row. Skip 3 stitches, and in that next stitch you'll do a single crochet, chain 3, and do 3 double crochets. Skip 3, single crochet, chain 3, three double crochets, continue on, skip 3, single crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochets, now we're going to come down to 3 stitches remaining, and how we're going to finish off this row is we're going to skip 3 stitches, and in this very last stitch here we are going to put a single crochet. Excuse me, we're going to skip 2 stitches and put in a single crochet. I'm sorry, not 3, because we don't have but 3. Alright, now as you'll notice at this very beginning of the row here, these chain 3s are giving us some little peaks, but that's okay because we need them in order to finish out the pattern whenever we come back across. Alright, so we're going to chain 3 again, and turn our work. Now this time what we're going to do is what we're going to do after our chain 3 is we're going to come right here at the base of the chain and we're going to put 3 double crochets, because this row here is our repeat row for the rest of the swatch or for your design, whatever it might be. So after our chain 3, we're going to start off, like I said, right here at the bottom of the chain 3, back into that single crochet, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. Then we're going to skip all the way over here to the chain 3, and back across the row we're going to work into each one of these chain 3 spaces. And we're going to do the same pattern as before. So we're going to skip 3 stitches, which, like I said, puts us right here into the chain 3 space, so there's no need really in worrying about counting. Just go to the chain 3 space. We're going to start with a single crochet, chain 3, and put in 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then again, if we follow the pattern of skipping 3 stitches, which is those 3 double crochets, we're going to come right in here to this chain 3 space, and we're going to do a single crochet, chain 3, whoops, and do 3 double crochets. Skip over to the next chain 3 space and do a single crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. Skip over to chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochets, and you just do that till we get to the last or to the end of the row, and I'll show you what we do when we get there in just a minute. Alright, so when we come down here to our very last skip 3, right here into this single crochet that we started with at the beginning, we're going to put in 1 single crochet. Alright, then repeat, chain 3, turn our work, go right back down here into this single crochet, excuse me, and we'll put 3 double crochets. Skip over to our chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Skip over to the next chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. Skip over to the chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochets. And we'll just keep doing that. Always want to go right into the double crochets after I do my single crochet, and it's like, no. Need those three chains for the next row. Don't forget them. Again, we're coming to the end here. I don't think I looped. Nope. Come over to the end of our row here, and in the very top of this chain 3, we're going to put in a single crochet. See what can you see now your little tulips? Aren't they pretty? Now, of course, you'll have to, when you get ready to block it, you'll stretch it out just a little bit. Do one more row with you, and then I'm going to turn you loose. Make one more pattern. Because it takes 2 rows, actually, even though it's just a 1-row repeat, it takes 2 rows for your little irises, because they change directions. Lean one way and then lean the other. Alright. Chaining 3, turning, and again right back down here in this single crochet, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now I'm just going to sit here with you and go right along, because I hope that you now have the idea of the stitch. This stitch is gorgeous in a scarf. It makes a beautiful front panel, or front, back, and sleeves for a cardigan. Now, I would not use this on a baby garment, like a little jacket or anything like that, but it does make for a very, very pretty little stitch on the bottom of a girl's dress. So many uses for the stitch. I'll tell you another place that I have used it, and that is, I'm sorry, I tend to get a little off the camera there. I have used it on tea towels. And I have used it on some finer cotton, you know, for face cloths. But I think it's gorgeous in a scarf. I have used it on a hat pattern, but I really, really love it in a cardigan. I just think it's beautiful. I have heard some people use this when they're doing a corner-to-corner blanket. Now, I have not done a corner-to-corner blanket yet, so I do not know if this stitch would work well. But I've heard that many stitches like this can be used to make a corner-to-corner blanket. So I am anxious to learn how to do a corner-to-corner blanket, you know, get down the basic technique. Okay, we're coming here to the end, skipping 3. There is our chain 3 from the previous row, and I didn't catch all of that. There we go. Do my chain 1. I mean my single crochet. So there is your little tulip stitch. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. As I said, once you block it out, she'll be all nice and pretty. So I hope that not only that you like this little tutorial, but you'll share it out to those that might like to have a little bit different way of looking at the stitch and learning a different way to do it. You know, there's, like I always like to say, there's always more than one way to skin a rabbit, and this is just my way of doing the tulip stitch. So I hope you will join me next week when we look at another floral stitch to get ready for spring and summer. But until then, remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know, could be your light that they need to see. Again, thank you so much for being with me today. Bye.